Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Mass incarceration means that we've got a very high rate of incarceration historically, comparatively. And the other thing is the rate of incarceration is so high, so socially concentrated, that we're no longer incarcerating the individual, but we're incarcerating whole social groups. The rate of incarceration now is about 5 times higher than it was historically. Historically it was 100 per 100,000, now it's about 500 per 100,000. If we look at prison, if we add jail to that, it's about 700 per 100,000. Nowhere in the world incarcerates as much as we do. We've seen extremely high rates of exposure to the criminal justice system for African American men with very low levels of schooling. So if we think about black men who were born in the late 1970s and who are growing up through the American prison boom of the 1980s and the 1990s, the chances that they're going to serve time in state or federal prison if they dropped out of high school is about 70%. So going to prison for that group of black men with very low levels of schooling, that's become a normal life event. And that's really only happened in the last 10 years. We're at this point now where there's about 1.2 million African American children with a parent who's incarcerated. That's about 1 in 9. The research shows that kids who experience parental incarceration have diminished school achievement, they have behavioural problems, depressive symptoms, acting out. And there's also evidence that these kinds of negative effects associated with parental incarceration are concentrated more among boys than among girls. And there's a very real risk here that incarceration becomes an inherited trait. The underlying issue is we've chosen prison as a way to respond to that problem of crime. And there are a whole variety of ways that we could have chosen to respond to that problem of crime. We've chosen the response of the deprivation of liberty. And we've chosen the response of the deprivation of liberty for a historically aggrieved group whose liberty in the United States was never firmly established to begin with.
Police state November 10, 2017, 2:50 p.m. It's time to tame the rising cost of mass incarceration. By Jake Grant. While the media and most of the Beltway focuses on the tax reform fight, Senate Democrats introduced a bill aimed at combating the opioid epidemic. The $45 billion bill hopes to provide investment in additional treatment options, recovery, and prevention efforts. While opioids come in the form of both legal, Vicodin, and illegal, heroin, drugs, the illegal use of both have contributed to the growing number of Americans that are incarcerated. Since 1980, the federal prison population in the United States has grown nearly 8 times, and while the U.S. has less than 5% of the world's population, it now houses nearly 1/4 of the world's prisoners, more than any other country, including China and Russia. Rare POV. There's a marijuana-related arrest somewhere in America every minute. Today, nearly half of all federal prisoners are locked up for drug offenses. In fact, nearly 17,000 inmates are serving life sentences for nonviolent crimes. No single piece of legislation can solve all of the problems with incarceration, though there are signs that leaders in both parties are moving toward criminal justice reform and re-evaluating some aspects of the drug war, specifically its hefty price tag. In one study, the average per inmate cost of incarceration is over $30,000 annually, with states like New York and New Jersey topping over $50,000. In 2010, South Carolina responded to the rising costs by passing S. 1154, the Omnibus Crime Reduction and Sentencing Reform Act of 2010. Specifically, the bill implemented sentencing and parole reforms and provided ongoing oversight of sentencing and corrections reform. It saved the state up to $175 million in construction costs and avoided more than $66 million in operating costs over the next 5 years. But regardless of how you feel about the intricacies of criminal justice policy, the high cost of the status quo should concern everyone. In fiscal year 2013, the Bureau of Prisons budget made up over a quarter of the total Department of Justice budget. Their budget is ticking upward as well. In fiscal year 2015 they requested $8.5 billion for federal prisons and detention. Add in the cost that states pay for prisons and that number rises to more than $45 billion in total for the 40 states studied. Also concerning for taxpayers is the fact that these costs will continue to rise as long as recidivism rates remain high. A National Institute of Justice study finds that 2/3 of prisoners were arrested again within 3 years of being released. This number has remained nearly unchanged since the 1980s, meaning that the conservatives' tough-on-crime attitude has done little to curb this ongoing problem, except expand how much taxpayers spend on locking prisoners up. In a national poll from Pew Charitable Trusts, 8 out of 10 people believe in reforming mandatory minimum sentencing. In addition, 6 out of 10 polled believe that there are too many drug offenders behind bars. This is a bipartisan issue that conservatives and progressives can get behind. There is a role for government to protect public safety and ensure that violent offenders do not harm citizens, but locking up nonviolent offenders who don't pose a danger to society wastes resources and money that could be used more efficiently. Rare POV, business owner on civil asset forfeiture, the police just fk'd my life. These policies also hurt the people that end up behind bars. In a study by the U.S. Sentencing Commission, half of federal offenders in the commission's study were rearrested, about 1/3 were reconvicted, and 1/4 were reincarcerated. Once a person is arrested, the likelihood of them finding a job and becoming a contributing member of society shrinks dramatically, and they often end up in the system again, continuing a life of crime. Ultimately, the cost of prisons is only a small fraction of the total budget of the United States, but as policymakers in both parties begin to re-evaluate criminal justice policies, fiscal conservatives have a unique opportunity to evaluate our justice system to ensure that sentencing is cost-effective and helps protect society against criminal elements and waste alike. Jake Grant is the outreach director for the Coalition to Reduce Spending. The views expressed are his own and do not necessarily represent the views of the Coalition to Reduce Spending.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that's that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know what, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself, 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not. They're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran in, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran in no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So That case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know the $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.